back yet again to the Dutch Pig Farmer series here on Klein Friesland. So, few moments after finishing the last episode, we are continuing. Those few moments were spent with the sprayer on the back of the steyr, filled with water, attempting to put out our fire in field 19, but to no avail. I think, having thought about a scenario where we don't necessarily lose, there should be an insurance mod. Maybe there's something I could work out, you know, the area lost versus, well, I don't know, yeah, recompense possibly. But yes, we won't talk about that anymore. Anyway, we are continuing where we left off, like I said, with the harvest of the first barley field. Whether we should get it all done today. We should get it all done today. I am hopeful. It will then need to be baled, and then it will need to be ploughed, as we learnt from the canola field previously. If we don't do that, it doesn't get rid of the stubble, and then we end up with a patchy crop right from the get-go. It's a little bit delirious. So yes, we'll need to plough it. Well, we'll mulch it, we'll plough it, we'll cultivate it possibly, or we'll just grab our drill and stick something else in here. We will see how we get on. But yes, so we are cracking on. I can't grumble too much. Things are going well. Like I said, I'm not advancing any time. We haven't got any more piglets, so I've sort of left that for now. I did notice that they could do with some... what could they do with? Let me have a look. Some protein, some sunflowers, or canola, or something like that. So we need to sort that, because yes, that's not good, is it? We don't want that at all. What I might do is get to, when the combine's full, we will grab some sunflowers probably, I think, and yeah, we'll get that lack of protein addressed. So protein problem, I can't think of another P, fixed. And opening up fields. So this, I always quite like this because it's a good straight run through the field, and you kind of get to see roughly where the edges of the soil map changes. I know you can see it around the headlands, but I like to see right through, so you can see the swathe of not so good soil that we're going through currently. But like I said, can't change it. It is what it is. Now, we've got, at the minute, I haven't got it at the engine switched on. Probably about 20-ish thousand litres at the moment. So, not a great deal, considering how much the pigs are eating per day. But it is what it is, and, you know, at some point we will reach that 1,000 pigs. We will. Oh, we will. I'm not leaving until we've reached it. Which I can hear them going, oh, that's really going to be great viewing. But no, joking apart, they are starting to really crack on now, which is good. What we want and what we need. This fire is still going. I just need to forget about it now and just stop mentioning it. And just move along, move on with the harvest, and you know, we might get a payout. Who knows? Whatever. Just I'm sure the answers will be given in the previous video as to what we do with realistic weather. So I won't see it until that would be Wednesday next week, which should work with the recording schedule. Should. We now need to back up, and we are going to have to open up the field horseplay style, I like to call it. There we go. Should be plenty. So let's turn that off, lift that up, open that, and we will just reverse touch. Plenty of space. Right, 28,000 litres. So that was only 8,000 litres out, you know. What's 8,000 litres between friends? Oh dear, it's turning out to be one of those afternoons. So what I am considering is, and this is purely to make my life easier, is leasing a big windrow. And we'll run around the field, hopefully pull in at least two, possibly 3 swaths in, and then bale it and do that way. I think that's probably a reasonable idea, because I don't really want to be going up and down so much. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Right, that's still got a bit left in it, but we can go and tip this. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll get the field, finish the harvesting, we'll lease the windrower, don't even look at it, and then we'll get that done, then we can get that baled, because then I could set a worker potentially doing the ploughing, whilst we then move on to the next field for the harvest. That sounds like a cunning plan. Now I just want to see solo no. Oh, it's picking up the, oh no, here we go. Use capacity what? You know what? We'll just see if we can dump it in here. Come on, get in. Why am I not? Oh, I've still got flight mode enabled. Goodness sake, man. Goodness sake, man. Off, thank you. Get in. There we go. Right. Let's just get this tipped. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So 37,000 litres so far. Hopefully we end up with a decent amount. I'm gonna guess probably 45,000 litres. Yeah. See how we get on. So field finished. Let's grab the last few hundred litres. Yeah, it's not gonna be a lot. Super. 13,000 on top of 37. That's 47. 50,000 litres. That ain't bad. I'm pleased with that, I think. Yeah. Plus, we've got another field to do as well. So yeah, that's pretty darn good, that. Hopefully, we've got enough space. Break. To get all of it in here. And then we can move the combine. Yeah, 50,708 litres. Blooming marvellous. Right, so that can stay there. We can shift the combine off the field. In fact, we can take it. We shall park it just this patch behind us. I think we shall fold it up. Go, lower the header, turn the engine off. Right, I shall sort ourselves a windrower. We'll grab a tractor, which will probably help. And yeah, we'll get this road up and then probably start the baling. Well, this is working blooming marvellously. My genius knows no bounds. Oh dear, I wish that was true. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Come on, lift her up. So this... Right, so this costs 4-ish thousand euros to drive into a tree. But for me, it's the old time versus effort. Time versus effort? Time versus effort versus reward, I suppose you could say. You know, for spending however much time we would spend. Yeah, will we get 3 up this way? Yes. Yes, we will. The time we spend going up and down and up and down and up and down, if we can go up and down 4 times rather than, let's pick a number, 10, 12, 15, that for me is a lot better. So yeah, probably a waste of money, but for me, speeds things up, and yeah, quite like do something a bit different with stuff. You know, we haven't done any grass work on here, for ourselves, that is. Yes, I know there's been plenty of contracts. That again, I haven't looked at. We won't be bothering with any harvest ones. That's for certain. But yeah, yeah, I'm liking the idea of this. You know, and like I say, 3 into 1. Yeah, can't really knock that, can we? Shouldn't take long to do, and then the baling can commence. We will have a look at how much straw is in the animal pens, and then there's obviously potential then to stay out the ditch. Go to put a bit through the BGA. He says, I'm pretty sure it takes. I'm pretty sure it does take. Oh yes, it does. Of course it does. We're out of slurry. That can come off. We do move in some spuds over at some point, but again, decent amount of electric charge, which is good. I haven't checked the slurry levels in the pens for a while, or the manure for that fact, but come on, there we go. But yeah, we can always move some more across if we need to. A nice passive income. There's also the honey, which I keep driving past when I go and top the water up, or grab some potatoes, or grab some, what we growing, sunflowers. And it is starting to mount up, so we need to have a look at that, because that could be a little injection of cash towards food, towards paying off the loan. But yeah, probably need to look at that at some point in the very near future. Or something that I've just realised. We talked in the last episode, about the update, and one of the elements of the changelog was the improved swath visuals, I guess you'd say. Now they're not sort of like loading partially in, then as you get close, as you get closer, it seems better. It's not 100% yet, and I don't know if that's my PC. Let's just try not to ruin all of the swath. There we go. Or whatever, but yeah, it's better. It's much better. Look, you can see all the way down there, and then they sort of want to render in a little bit. Come on, come on. Wait for the bottom one to drop. There we go. See if we can catch all of that. Not quite, but we can. I'm sure we'll manage to drag the baler over that at some point. But yeah, it is improved, I think. Again, possibly my graphic settings are not ideal, but yeah, there we go. And the other thing that I want to clarify is I'm not hating on Arrow. Sort of choked a bit on my own saliva then, apologies. But yeah, I'm not hating on Arrow at all for his mods. I just, yeah, I wish there was a little bit more of an explanation. You know, what he brings to the game is fantastic. The livestock mod, I love it. It just, it's how farm sim should be. You know, surely with the rating that there is, you can, come on, there we go, you can get away with having male and females. There's no, you know, it's not graphic or anything like that, what goes on. So I don't know, but maybe I'm not up on the ratings and how they get dealt with, but yeah, you'd think there'd be some level of, you know, you can do this if you're not actually showing anything. I don't know. Now, there is a mod that I forgot to load in, which, and I haven't looked at it, so I can't fully describe it to you, but it brings back the old shop menu where you go in and you can sell your vehicles from there rather than having to go into here and then find the one that you want. So I'll try to remember to add that in for next time. So that is what we used. We used it for 0.1 of an hour. There we go. Super. That has gone. I probably should have kept it for the other field, but with it being smaller, we might get away with just going up and down. So, come on, Voucher, get into gear. There we go. Ooh, beautiful. Right. So now, with any luck, failing should be a little bit easier. Well, it's the madness in my madness is working absolutely brilliantly. It's just so much quicker. Yeah, love it. If only we'd have added a massive windrow at the start of the series, then we would have saved ourselves 5,000 euros. But we didn't, and that's very cheaty, so we won't do that now. I'm going to come and grab this little bit here, just to annoy people. There we go. But, yeah, decent amount of bales. Let's get that lifted up. So, in the next episode, which could potentially be August 2, we will get the other barley field done. We will have cleared the bales off of this field so that the ploughing can commence. And then we've got the canola to harvest. And then we can probably advance through until we get to the corn harvest, I think. Now, depending on the amount of births that we get, we will need to look at opening up the other silo. Well, obviously we will, because we'll never get to 500 with the 750 capacity, will we? Silly boy. Get to 500? Get to 1,000, sorry. So, yeah, we'll need to use some of this grain, maybe buy a load of corn. We've got sunflowers and we've got plenty of sugar beet and potatoes. So from that point of view, getting the other barn set up is not a problem. We'll have the straw, we don't need water. Oh, missed a bit. Ugh. And yeah, maybe we do that so we don't have to sell any more animals. But then again, it's that double-edged sword of they actually bring in a fair bit. So we'll see. We'll just play it by ear. I wasn't intending to do it in the last episode, so I thought I need some space. I haven't got the money really to all the crops. I haven't got the money or the crops to start the other shed up yet. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. Really, that's just kind of the way I'm taking this series now. We're moving at a decent pace. We are getting up there with the numbers of pigs now. I would say next round of births will be well over 500. So if you think about it, in the space of, what, 3, maybe 4 episodes, we've jumped up 200 pigs. And that is the level that it's going to stay at, and it's only going to get more prolific which is good, you know. But we don't want to be doing this forever, do we, really? And I just, yeah, you know, well, we can see then what to do next, but it's a while off yet. And I almost don't want it to end, because I am really enjoying this map. Yeah, you know, but, you know, like the old saying is, all good things must come to an end. And on that note, see what I did there? That is the end of this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, like always, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.